Hello everyone and welcome back finally to EWS Whistler. It's been a few years since we've got to head to this. It's like the mountain bike mecca of Canada, isn't it? Ruaridh, you and I out for the course preview today. What's your take on the course the riders are going to face this weekend?
It's a big one, like you say, Rick. Amazing to be back in Whistler. And North America in general, we've had a bit of a hiatus from the tour for multiple reasons, but yeah, it's going to be a big course. Only one stage lift assisted, which is strange for Whistler, but there's going to be a lot of pedaling, a lot of steep climbing. I think it's going to be some event.
Let's just have a quick run through then of what those stages are going to look like. And brace yourself for a rapid fire machine gunning off funny stage trail names. Stage 1 is microclimate. Stage 2, Golden Boner into Roman the Loam into Rabbit Tracks. The third stage is no joke, Misfire, Delayed Fuse, South Park. Ride Don't Slide is stage 4, then into Cirque du Soleil, Ride Don't Slide, bottom part. Stevie Smith Tribute 1199 into Duffman, into World Cup single track, Ho Chi Minh, Longhorn, Monkey Hands finishes off what should be just under 40 Ks for the pro field. Ruaridh, we're here on what is going to be the Queen stage.
Yeah, we've done the top part, no joke, in the bike park. We transfer here. This is actually where the top of the world stage comes down. You might recognise it. And then the Misfire stage starts just here, and this is where it really begins to get steep and technical.
Steep and technical, fantastic. Right, should we go and try it before we both get eaten alive by the mosquitoes?
I've heard you've ridden it before, so do you want to lead?
Obviously, yeah, it's fine, yeah. Let's go. What could go wrong with me going first?
Misfire, sign on the tree there. Rick's been down it before, there's still some dust you can see on the ground. The roots are going to be slippy.
Whoa! I think we all know I'm holding you up. Yeah, back in 2019 was the last time the EWS came to Crankworks in Whistler.
The dirt's almost perfect, but all the other stuff's pretty wet, pretty slippery. And then the visibility on top of that makes it pretty challenging. And back into the chunky stuff.
Whoa. And just like that, you're bobbled offline and the time slips away.
A lot of little things you can double up to try and preserve some speed or stay out of the holes. And that's kind of a lot of go-to on these stages that kind of fall on the boundaries of the bike park. It's actually easier to let go and kind of stay on top of it. Some big holes, and as soon as you start getting into them, you get really tired and they suck up speed.
Ruaridh, I'd be lying if I wasn't saying that I'm actually not taking that seriously, because I'm actually just really enjoying myself because it's such a great trail. But you've spotted something that the racers might be able to make use of. Tell us about it.
So we've got this steep rooty chute behind us here, some big steps all the way down it, and then as the trail kind of levels out on the flats part here, you've got a compression here and then almost like a natural roller and then an upslope there. Now, to the untrained eye, you'll just think you'll charge through this, you'll lose a little bit of momentum going up and over the crest, but if you actually kind of use it almost like a pump track, compress here and use this faint roller, you'll be able to kind of pre-jump, get up and over, preserve your momentum, and then you'll be hauling down the next straight.
Yeah, I think this is more of a you thing than me, but you're going to show us how it's done?
I mean, I'll try my best. Starting to get a bit steeper here. Whoa! Kind of committed to a pre-jump there and over that rock.
It's just that tractor beam. Big rock or big root pulls you in. Wow. It's a bit hairy down there actually.
Yeah, I unknowingly jumped into that chute.
Here we go then. So this is into Delayed Fuse. Ruaridh, can you remember this? What's it like?
Not quite as steep as what we've just ridden on Misfire, but yeah, same kind of style trail, kind of cuts between this blue kind of bike park trail here. Good fun. all these turns, you can kind of swing up and get high for them. It's knowing when it's the right thing to do and knowing when the inside's sometimes potentially better. Much smoother trail, not as many steps, which will be, I'm sure the riders will be thankful for that. But doing this and linking all this together, I mean, I'm talking now, I've just stopped for 5 minutes having a yarn to Ric, so I'm fresh, but doing this with tired arms, tired legs, easier said than done. In a real chunky section there, a bit different, speed's a lot slower. What? And this is a bit, I remember, quite flat. You really have to work for your speed. Pump that roller. And again, across these wet routes, you slide out and lose all your momentum. So the bottom pops onto this bike park.
Whoa! The spectacles! He blasted his own glasses off the back of his head. Giving McLaughlin a clear run to the line. Whew. That'll be the end of stage 3. To come to the top of stage 5 and a new section of trail that the Whistler Mountain Bike Park Trail crew are digging, the 1199, and it is a very, very fitting tribute to an incredibly special person.
Stevie Smith, one of the great downhillers, and the guy who really paved the way for Canadian riders.
I don't know what the 1199 reference is, but I've got a feeling you do.
I do indeed. So the 1199 is the number of points he accumulated in the 2013 season when he won the World Cup overall.
The weather's changed, thankfully for the better, and we've made it over to microclimate. Now this is one of those names that you do recognise from years of just enjoying all the coverage from Whistler. Tell us a bit about this stage.
Yeah, microclimate, it's a stage that, or a trail that almost gets talked about even if you're not in Whistler. It's you know, it's so iconic. The trail's at Blackholm, steep, natural, some kind of nice rock slabs and stuff, and I've actually raced this one in 2018.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely loved it. This is going to be the first stage the riders tackle on race day after the pro stage on the Saturday. Little flat section here and kind of tricky to pedal. You've kind of got to just get them in hands when you can. Try and preserve that momentum.
This stage already really different from what we've ridden today. A lot wider tape.
Quite a steep kind of chunky shoot down the trail. Main line, as you can see, really dug out, load, like a series of big steps, tightening into a right-hander at the bottom. Now if you kind of look 6 foot to the main line, the rider's left, you've got this kind of, it's really off camber, rooty bank. Now if you can commit from back there, get up onto this bank, you can actually draw like a properly straight line down to the next right-hander. There's not as many steps on it, if at all. There's probably one big compression at the bottom. Takes a lot of commitment to get onto it. It's actually going to save you not only time, but energy.
It's a 2.1 kilometres in length microclimate. Drop of about 400 metres. Oh, roots everywhere. Oh, where am I going here? Right through this big slippery. Oh! That's one of the things that I know in these videos never translates.
Yeah.
But when you're maxed and you're throwing everything at a descent, and then there's just a wee punchy climb like that, it's got some roots in it, you need to think about what you're doing, stay calm, but yet still put the power down. I think that's fascinating about enduro racing, is that you forget those couple of gear shifts and end up jumping off on that climb. You've lost so much time. So choppy, and as it gets choppier, whoa, ha, it obviously gets harder to see stuff like that.
Just saying, this feature reminds me of you.
Go on then.
Prehistoric and grey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Reminds me of you actually.
Oh yeah.
A chunky lump that no one wants to see. Off one rock slab, straight into another. Woo!
Straight into another blind one. So getting into the lower portion of the trail now, and I remember these switchbacks that are coming up. It's not quite as loamy, it's more kind of gravelly and some big steps, but I mean still really good grip today. But should we get the dry weather for the weekend, this bit will be really loose. Just caught my ass on the tyre there. Joy's been 5'9". High line up here. Whoa, and again.
What a stage. That's so good, but that is classic EWS in that beats you up at the top and then gets faster and faster towards the bottom.
That's one of these trails that to ride is going to be so much fun like we've had, but to race it's going to be so physical, so physical. Half the lines you'll be able to take when you're fresh might not be in or only for the fastest racers, but man, what a stage.
I think down there as well, you're going to have to be comfortable with making mistakes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're going to have to be comfortable with not being in the right place and just allowing the speed to get you to the right place again. There we go then. I have confounded science and statistics and survived another one. The good news is though, you've got lots of action heading your way right here on the Enduro World Series YouTube channel, as well as on all our social media, as we prepare to go racing for EWS Whistler at Crankworx Whistler this weekend. Don't forget to subscribe to all of them so you don't miss a thing. We're looking forward to it.